Yo, welcome back, King Bullet here. I know a lot of people wanted this. Could Sakura from Naruto beat Saitama from One Punch Man? If you watch my content, you're probably used to Naruto based content. I will briefly go over Saitama in this video, but mainly it's focused on Sakura and her in the new era. Hopefully I can change your mind on Sakura, because she has feats that are absolutely insane. You'll be really interested to know I'll be scaling Sakura in a way that nobody even tends to. So finally, Sakura's gonna get the respect that she deserves. So Sakura stands, get ready. So you and me both know I'm gonna get hate for this video, mainly for even making this matchup in the first place. I see you, bro. Don't click that dislike button. All I ask from you as a viewer is to be reasonable and actually decide if you like the video or not based on the actual arguments. And I recommend you to please watch the video until the end. Also, if you're one of those people who think Sakura's useless, you're a fucking idiot. We're not talking about part 1 Sakura. She's trash. I feel like people have watched that and they have this preconceived idea of her. Obviously, nobody tries to scale her properly because everybody just hates her for some reason. I think I can claim that I'm definitely one of the best Naruto scalers out there. I will talk about Saitama, but you can actually skip right past that. Because the things I'm going to bring up about Sakura, I promise you, you're going to learn something you probably didn't know about her. If you generally just enjoy the content, respect the hustle and give me that sub. You know, because I actually earn like 7p. What is that, like 10 cents for all of my American guys? I'm a pro power scaler, give me money. Also, if somebody's hating on Sakura, you know what to do. Show them this video. It helps me get more clout as well, so we're helping each other out. Now, without further ado, I'll start off with Saitama. The capability. So usually he's really wanked, but I feel like I've seen less and less wank recently for him. First thing I want to establish is that Saitama isn't one of those gag characters who one punches all of fiction. I was hoping I wouldn't have to explain this, but sure. I don't want to hear, but Sir Bullet, Saitama is omnipotent. I don't want to hear any of that crap. We know he trains every day. He gets stronger every day. So clearly he's getting stronger, like he's not at the max potential yet. Omnipotence comes in omniscience, and this guy's an absolute idiot. So he has a current power level. Also, it's a no limits fallacy to assume that he can one punch all of fiction. If I were nicknamed the One Punch Man, had never lost a fight, but only fought kids, would that mean I could beat up Goku? Obviously not. Please use actual feats and scaling. If he's suppressed, you have to prove how suppressed he is. If you can't, we can only use the actual feats given. Not shitty ambiguous lore that's clearly wanked. Now without further ado, how strong is Saitama objectively speaking? I'm not going to completely go into depth, but I will save that for another video. This video is mainly about Sakura. Anyway, Saitama has several multi-continental feats that he scales to. Take for example his moon jump that equates to about 23 petatons of TNT. This is usually around multi-continental. The calculation will be linked down in the description. So will other multi-continental feats, but I don't really think they matter for how I'm scaling him because I'm scaling him even higher than that. Moving on to another feat, Tatsumaki fights Psychos. For manga reader, you'll probably have seen this feat. So in this calculation right here, as you can see, the sheer force is about 36 petatons, which is multi-continental. The PE of this feat is around 1 exaton, which is also multi-continental. But then we have the KE, the kinetic energy, which is 320 exatons, lowballed, and 8 zetatons, highballed. You're probably wondering, hey Bullet, what the fuck do those numbers actually mean? So lowballed, with a time frame of 5 seconds, it's moon level. Highballed, with a time frame of 1 second, is small planet level. I think the whole calculation is already a little bit generous, so I think we'll go with the lowballed to stay safe. Not that it even matters, but let's say it's moon level. Moving on, Saitama in his cover has actually punched through the moon. This should actually require moon levels of force. A normal punch takes about a second to throw. So yes, in that time frame it should be moon level. It should be noted that Saitama actually states he can destroy the world. Boros in his restricted state is even stated to destroy planets. Within the actual anime, Boros also states that his collapsing star roaring cannon attack can blast away the planet. Further backing this up, the databook actually states that he can erase the planet and actually destroy it. Very interestingly, the special guide actually states it's a star level attack. Also, considering that this guide is actually officially translated by Biz, that would validate its translation, and also one actually has input in this, which would be consistent with his actual name, Collapsing Star Roaring Cannon. However, the kanji actually says Hoshi, and Hoshi means celestial body, which are things like moons, planets, stars. It's actually clear in the context he's clearly talking about the actual planet, as shown earlier. Boros has 3 forms, so in his first form he will stay planet level. so it could very well be the case that he's star level at full power. It does say that when he's unrestricted that his unlimited power is unleashed or immeasurable power. And Saitama actually did have to try against Boros. His first form actually took a hit from him. In that special guidebook, it actually did say the strongest versus the strongest. It did actually state that he was kind of clubbered, meaning he was taking damage. So Saitama isn't like way beyond his level. Speed-wise, it's kind of simple to figure out. Boros actually kicks Saitama to the moon at almost the speed of light, roughly about 75% the speed of light in his calculation that I'll link down below. Weirdly, in a data book, it's actually stated that he kicks him at near the speed of light to the moon. In an interview, he's actually stated that psychic guy in Boros' ship that his psychokinesis is near the speed of light. He also says that Saitama as a joke throws his rocks. In another calculation that I'll link down below, we figured that he's about twice the speed of light. Saitama actually scales way above Flashy Flash, and Flashy Flash has all of his light speed statements. Saitama is capable of blitzing people who can actually blitz Flashy Flash. So bare minimum, he would have to at least be more than 50 times faster than the speed of light. Saitama is also stated to become stronger each day, so strong that he can actually beat himself from a day before. Generally, a humanoid one-shotting another humanoid is accepted as 7.5 times stronger, so you could argue he's getting 7.5 times stronger each day, which I'm not going to argue because it's a little bit ambiguous. Also, it's calc stacking, so I don't really like it. Also, in Saitama's case, this is only to do with power, not speed, so I wouldn't use it speed-wise. Anyways, moving on to Sakura, the Uchiha Simp. During the War Arc, in her base, she was actually stated to be beyond Tsunade in 100 still by Hashirama, who wouldn't really lie. Even more impressively, she's on a level of EMS Sasuke and KCM2 Naruto. Sakura on at least 3 occasions states that she's actually reached the level of Naruto and Sasuke at the time. Which is even backed up several times in the actual data book. I know some people argue that KCM2 Naruto was weakened when they were compared because he was missing his cloak or something, or at least a part of his cloak. However, Sasuke wasn't really too weakened, and he can keep up with KCM2 Naruto and even breaks the sword of Nunobuko, which can actually obliterate the world. Also, Sakura does imply that Naruto is the weakest of the 3 at the time, so it actually makes sense. And also, Naruto is actually physically scared of her. Obviously, Naruto and Sasuke need Senjutsu power to harm Jupiter. Even without it, they're still matching each other anyways. Not reserve-wise, obviously, but the actual level of chakra itself. Anyways, they should be comparable to Edo Hashirama, who can hold down the Jubi and even be equal to the Jubi because of his deity gates, which can also tank Biju Damas from the actual Jubi, quite literally being stayed equal to the Jubi, who is around small planet level as stated here, which is actually consistent with Naruto powering the whole Shinobi Alliance. By a calc that I'll link down below, it actually proves why KCM2 alone is actually small planet level. Also, Kurama is actually stated to be able to shatter the entire world, which mid-board is calculated about small planet level. I'm not saying Sakura is actually stronger than these guys, however, she's actually relative to them, so in the same tier of power, which is at least stated about 6 times. So speed-wise, they should all be superior to Edo Madara, who can bring down the Meteor at 500 times the speed of light, because it could only have come from an asteroid belt most likely. We know this because Madara should actually scale to Edo Hashirama, and we know that these KCM2 level fighters also scale to him. KCM2 should also actually be 10 times stronger than KCM1. The reason I say this is because Itachi could actually keep up with KCM1 in his base Sharingan. He then activates the Mangekyo Sharingan, that should make him at least 10 times faster and stronger. Because when Sasuke actually gets the Mangekyo Sharingan, it's superior to the Curse Mark II, otherwise he wouldn't really use it. We know that KCM1 Naruto can blitz the Raikage. There's a calculation for this, which uses pixel scaling, so you might not like it. You've probably already heard about this calculation from Seth the Programmer and Raikage, that puts him at least 70 times faster than the speed of light. We can even lowball this. Remember, we granted Saitama 50 times faster than the speed of light for blitzing somebody's light speed. So times 10, Itachi is at least 500 times the speed of light, which is actually consistent, because he stayed equal to EMS Sasuke, who should be equal to KCM2 Naruto. Both proving that he's around 500 should make it consistent. Anyways, moving to an adult Sakura. In the Sakura Hiden novel, she fights an Onbu captain called Kido, who is a high Jonin level fighter. So using Naruto's chakra, he creates the Biju chakra drug that gives him the version 2 cloak. After this transformation, he states he gets several orders of magnitude stronger and faster. Several means more than 2, and orders of magnitude are multiples of 10. As in 10 times 10 times 10 times 10, etc. So here's the most consistent definition I could find for several. More than 2. Rounding it up to the nearest integer. This means 10 times 10 times 10. Which means Kido was amped 1000 times over. In Naruto the Last, 100 Jonin Lowballed are capable of powering a Chakra cannon that is capable of destroying the entire moon. This means Kido is 1000 times high Jonin level, so we divide 1000 by 100. It would make him about 10 times moon level. So destroying the moon with a cannon equates to about 77 exatons. The calc will be linked down below. Times this by 10, you get 770 exatons, which is small planet level. Okay, this is where the video starts to get more interesting. She could somewhat fight Madara. According to her data book in Naruto the Last, she stated to not be inferior to 6th Path's Naruto and Sasuke at the time, who should scale to large planet level, because they can harm Madara, who is large planet level. The feat for this will be linked down below. Now surprisingly, all of this actually might be really consistent. She can fill up a 6th Path's level Obito's Chakra all the way back up from virtually having none. Just for reference, Obito couldn't even Kamui across dimensions, but now all of a sudden he's able to cross dimensions. He can now also Kamui away Kage's Ashbones, so he's that quick. Obito also gives away his 6th Path Chakra and Mangekyo Sharingan to Kakashi, making him capable of fighting Kaguya. This means Sakura's actual Chakra is actually 6th Path's level. To go even further, now this might be more controversial, but she could harm Kaguya. She was capable of breaking her horn and even further leaves a nasty bruise on her left eye. Mr. Bullet, the anime. Well, the anime actually fucking makes it worse because she's bleeding. In the past, we do know characters can be caught off guard and harmed by much weaker characters. However, now this is a big but. Because if you look carefully, Kaguya actually has an exclamation mark symbol. Anybody who reads the Naruto manga knows that this means precognition, so it works like a spidey sense. Even more convincingly, it's actually shown multiple times during a fight, Naruto having this exclamation mark and then reacting to Kaguya's teleportation, etc. Okay, you have to admit that Kaguya was harmed in this situation. She wasn't caught off guard. How strong would this make Sakura? Well, first we have to know Kaguya's durability. We know Kaguya is capable of creating dimensions with stars within them. She creates these dimensions with ease. It's actually stated that she does it as she pleases. This is using a Rinne Sharingan, or a third eye. In her flashback when she unlocks the Rinne Sharingan, she literally opens a portal to a newly made dimension, meaning that the dimension is actually created shortly after. So her general power or AP is large star level plus, and the reason I say this is because her dimensions have stars, planets, moons within them, so like small solar systems. Anyways, Naruto actually matches her attacks, and we know that she can actually tank some Naruto's attacks, meaning that her AP and durability actually scale. This would put Sakura at large star level plus. Now please do not get confused, I'm not talking about the expanding truth seeking ball, because that's even stronger. That can destroy all of her dimensions, because it's stated by Kakashi it doesn't matter what dimension they go to, that is going to expand and kill them regardless, so they actually need to escape her time space. So destroying these multiple dimensions with stars, moons, planets within them is at minimum a solar system level plus feat, which is consistent with base Momoshiki Supernova. If you want to know more about Momoshiki, I recommend you actually watching my video on him. I will link it at the end of this video. The only people who would scale to the expanding truth-seeking orb would be none of Team 7, but more so like Hagoromo and Hamura, who fight a Prime Kaguya who had all of her Chakra. And she definitely got a greater Chakra than the Shinobi Alliance, meaning casually, Kaguya is a majority of this feat. Now let's talk about speed. Sakura also managed to react to Kaguya's Chakra hands. Note that Naruto calls them fast, and one of his clones can't even react to it despite having similar speed to him. So when that feat actually happened, the whole Chakra hand thing, Sasuke wasn't even able to react, and this is past Boil release. So before he had thousands of clones that were getting blitzed by Kaguya. I remember each clone before could actually fight Madara evenly. Now we're talking about Madara's Limbo clones, which are actually stated equal to him. So Sakura to actually react to this would have to be way faster than even Madara to not even get blitzed. Also, Sakura is actually capable of landing attacks on Kaguya as I proved before. So what is Kaguya's speed? Kaguya's Chakra can travel from Earth across the universe to her dimension. But essentially what happens is the beam of light, you can actually see it come through the planet, meaning it definitely travelled. It's really similar to Momoshiki's feat, when Chakra comes all the way from outside his dimension all the way back to him. Because we don't know where Naruto's planet is located in their universe, we're going to assume it's on the edge, which is the lowest you can go because it's surrounded by stars. The result of this feat is about 2 to 3 million times the speed of light. Now it will be linked down below, and remember this is lowballed, so don't bust it up, and also I'm going to prove why it's consistent in a minute. This is a combat speed feat because we see Naruto, Sakura and Sasuke actually react to Kaguya's Chakra, so it validates it even more. So in conclusion, if we're talking about consistency, I think she should actually be star level and massively faster than the speed of light. At least 1 million times faster than the speed of light. Now a lot of people might complain and be like, but she's normal, she doesn't have anything that makes her special. However, in the databook, it's actually stated that she has a lot of potential because of her Chakra control. Also, it's called power clipping. Clearly all of his weaker characters had to get stronger to fight all of his god tiers, otherwise the story wouldn't really move forward. Take for example the Kage, who in Boruto are able to fight Kinshiki and Momoshiki, who are clearly stated beyond Kaguya. You could grow on Saitama's star level, however that wouldn't really change the whole speed aspect. Clearly Sakura is a lot faster than him, because we granted him about 50 times faster than the speed of light. And also hacks wise, Saitama isn't actually that good, he only punches people. Sakura, she can paralyze people, she can actually use like low tier genjutsu. She's also immune to high tier genjutsu. Jinchuriki like Naruto are actually immune to like Mangekyo Sharingan genjutsu, as shown by B. However, in Naruto the Lost, Naruto is put under a genjutsu, meaning that it's higher than Mangekyo Sharingan level. But Sakura isn't, she's able to resist it. So her genjutsu or illusion resistance is really good. If you really like this video or have changed your mind about Sakura and actually agree with me, please share the video because it actually helps me out, it gives me more clout, and also then you're getting other people to kind of learn more about the Naruto scaling. And it goes without saying, can you like the video and actually sub to me? Because I still don't have that many subs. Like, how are that many of you actually watching this video but not subbing to me? Like, a few hundred people watch this video. In all seriousness, it's cool, you don't need to. But it would be really appreciated if you did. And that should be it. If you want to see more content like this, comment down below. If you disagree with me, comment down below. If you actually want to debate me, join my Discord, which will actually be linked in the description as well. If you want to donate to me, my PayPal's also linked down below. Yeah, I know I'm a bit of a beg. Also, thanks for actually watching this, really appreciate it. I will see you guys next time, have a good one.